But just because he's Larry Bird and you're Tweety Bird doesn't mean you're related.
I don't know. We look an awful lot alike.
Call 1-800-SUNDAY to become an MCI customer.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Bad weather continues to disrupt part of our weekend this afternoon, again in the Midwest and the Northeast. In addition, some colder temperatures moving in as well. Hello and welcome to Weather Center. I'm Lisa Moser.
And I'm Joel Brown. There's some lake effect snow scattered in parts of the Midwest this afternoon, and in parts of the Northeast, the snow and ice and rain continue. Snow yesterday and freezing rain overnight left your streets wet this morning in Philadelphia. You also had some dense fog in the city. You'll see rain this afternoon, then temperatures will drop below freezing tonight. It's continuing to change hour by hour in some locations. You notice here on our snowfall forecast that you're not included any longer in Philadelphia or in Boston, but most of the cities right along the East Coast, while you may be having rain now and temperatures are as warm as the 50s, once the front goes offshore, you may actually see a quick round of maybe very light snow before it all comes to an end. So places that will see accumulating snow would be northern New England. You never go over to rain. At some of your favorite ski resorts, it'll be all fluff, all powder. Just what you wanted to hear. Generally 3 to 6 inches should do it, but higher peaks of some mountains may get as much as a foot. So if you're looking for that really heavy-duty powder, it may be out there in some locations. It is lighter snow across New York State, slightly heavier in some of the snow belts. Get a little lake enhancement here coming up. But traveling today, again, still very tricky, especially on, say, Interstate 95, as we're getting freezing rain reports out of places like Portland in Maine, up toward Bangor. Also Lebanon, New Hampshire still getting freezing rain. Montpelier in Vermont, freezing rain at last report. Again, a little bit farther north and it's snow. Slightly farther south and it's rain. It's not even that cold out here. So it'll be wet roadways that you encounter across southern New England. Boston is in the mid-50s. So this coming up from the south, that's likely to be all rain. This is freezing rain for the most part on Interstate 95. Back toward Albany and Poughkeepsie, rain showers. And then you can tell how the radar looks a little bit different, and that is snow. So let's go in a little bit closer here, and you'll notice in Boston, things are quiet. We have one band of rain coming through the Marlboro area and the 495 loop coming down toward the downtown area. Philadelphia, getting rain at this hour. Again, once the rain moves off the coast with the front, it's going to drop below freezing tonight, and you may see a few passing flurries before we put this one out to sea. So Pittsburgh, the last of the snow coming in. Yesterday, everything changed. Started with snow, went to freezing rain, and now you're back to snow. And the same is true, although there's not much of it. It is snow in West Virginia. So here you can see the temperatures, 56 in Boston. Can you believe it? New York City is well above freezing too, but to go to the other side of the front, and temperatures are in the 20s. Wind chills, well, as cold as 2 below in Detroit. Fortunately, the winds are not too strong through here. So here it is, the warm air, but the cold air follows as that slides out, high pressure settles in. Things will be relatively quiet. We will have some lake effect snow and a little clipper type system to keep up with. This could potentially drop several inches of snow in the Black Hills this afternoon and tonight. And those snow belts, they could get several inches of snow as well here. You can see those bands. We'll see more of them spreading over into New York State, maybe into Ohio and Pennsylvania too in the next 24 hours. Temperatures behind it, pretty darn cold today. 11 below in Minneapolis, feels like 20 below. This is the heart of our Arctic air, and it's on the move. It is moving south. For more on what that may mean for you in Florida, let's check with Lisa.
Okay, Jill. We are seeing some rain this afternoon in parts of the Pacific Northwest. We'll tell you about that. Rain and thunderstorms also putting a damper on our weekend in the deep south. Let's go down to Florida. No, let's go to North Carolina. These are scenes from Corn Jock, North Carolina. That's just east of Elizabeth City along the Outer Banks, where we are seeing still some rain across the Outer Bank area. If you're doing some boating today, not good. If you were driving earlier, it was very wet on the roads this morning. Temperatures are still kind of mild out around the coastal areas of North Carolina, but we do have a frontal boundary, as Jill already indicated. It's bringing some colder air southward, including Florida. But first stop is the Carolina area, where we are seeing the rain showers that were heavier earlier today now over the coastal waters. A few thunderstorms are still embedded in that shield of moisture, so boating a little hazardous at this time. We're also looking at some prefrontal rain across the Carolinas now. The front has pushed through around Asheville, North Carolina. Temperatures are dropping. Earlier we were seeing the temperatures around 50 degrees or so, already in the 30s around Boone, North Carolina. If you headed up towards Asheville, chilly here too. A little further to the south, we are seeing rain showers a little more intense around Waycross, Georgia. We could possibly see a thunderstorm or two here. Here's our frontal boundary, and you'll notice that it's just past the extreme western part of North Carolina. It'll continue to push out towards the east, and it does look like some of the thunderstorms that are ahead of the frontal boundary around the Florida area have maintained their intensity. We're seeing a line here, right there. That could probably, in the next couple of hours, push one line just to the north of Tampa. So if you're headed along Interstate 75, you could be in for a big downpour. Some of these thunderstorms could be strong to severe, and by that, in addition to the heavy downpours, maybe some hail, maybe some dangerous lightning, and also some wind damage could be possible. You'll notice a big change in the temperatures. Again, still fairly warm across the extreme eastern areas of the Carolinas and also Florida at this hour. But where we've seen a big change is behind that frontal boundary. We're talking about temperatures 30 degrees or so colder at this hour than what they were this time yesterday. Taking a look at the current temperature, looking at Raleigh, still at 60 degrees. Even Goldsboro, North Carolina, reported a 72 this past hour. Big difference in our mid-afternoon temperature today in Jackson right now.